Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Friday, October 24th, 2025. Where has all the time gone? You know, there's only 8 days, 8 weeks and 6 days till Christmas. Can't wait to see. But wait, I think someone's already got their early Christmas present. But on that note, let's go ahead and bring up a list of all the great people in our chat. Who the hell do we have out there? Let me take a look and see. Not live chat. I want to see. There it is. Participants. Who in the hell do we have out there? Let's see. We got Anne-Joanne Brains is here along with Kat and Christine Lynn. I see Craig Smith, Daryl. Good to see my friend Evan B. Fink Ployd, Firefly, Frank Cathel. Frazzle says Geraldine Durazio, Gray Hairs Discoveries is here along with Jake Knott from State Farm, Jake Hat, and Kelly Bro with those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly. We got Little Schisms, Megan Betts, Mr. X, Ms. Cutouts here along with Necessary Dialogue. Philip is here along with Rough Ready. Sam's here along with Shelly Montgomery. Thank you for that wonderful super chat to start off today's show. Appreciate the $10. Shelly, namaste. I want to thank Tia Maria for being here along with Turtlehead Twiggy and our dear friends from northern Idaho, 2 midgets on a horse. But isn't all Idaho up north? Bye. You never know. I need to look on a map. On that note, let me go ahead and jump into the studio and say, oh yeah, where's that at? Did I lose that? Oh, I guess this one, I think. Mike. What a week, huh?
Yeah, it's been an interesting one, to say the least. We have a lot to talk about tonight, so should be interesting.
Oh, it should be. It should be lots of things not happening in UFO land. It seems like disclosure, and we know Carl Nell has said disclosure, at least controlled disclosure, is dead. But, there are some things to look forward to. There's that Great Soul Conference happening in Northern California. No, wait, no. I'm sorry. It's in Italy this year. Gee, I wonder why that happened. But if you want to attend, Mike, virtually, you can pay the admission for streaming for $150 to watch all of the seminars. Are you going to be doing it this year?
Fuck no. Same as the years before and the years ahead. Absolutely not.
Yeah. I just feel bad for all those people who bought into the tiers where they could get primary access to their events and then they moved it to Italy.
Sure.
Probably from all the great new funding from all the memberships they sold, they could afford it this year.
Well, at least they can have a nice vacation for this. Why not?
A bunch of people are over there. It looks pretty interesting, to say the least. Well, Mike, we always say it would never happen, but, well, maybe not. But, yes, friends, the alien TRIDACTYL Autopsy is around, this time with the CT analysis, and that just came out this morning, our time, although it came from Peru, which is already in tomorrow, from yesterday. But, man, this one looks pretty compelling, Mike.
It's interesting. It's why we're going to talk about it tonight.
Yeah.
So, I believe the female specimen they're claiming was pregnant. So interesting.
But this one is particularly going off on the study of Montserrat. Let me go ahead and get this up here a little bit bigger. So people can go ahead and see this. And that was with an L, friends. Ligger. All right, where are we at? Let me go ahead and find, where is the document with me and Mike? All right, here we go. You know what? Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for the audience. Jump down into it. Here we go. All right, so what are we talking about? Coming to us from, where's that website at, Fessler? Here we go. Coming to us from the website that's out there known as tridactyls.org. A document came out today that is a release of a from Dr. K.H. Fung, who is a radiology specialist in medical 3D visualization. He's from Hong Kong and China, of course, who did a really deep dive into what potentially happened to the tridactyls. Now, all right, I'll go through the text first. However, There are some great pictures that'll dive into this in a second. So evidence of an empty heart. Residue connective tissue structure representing the heart was located in the left side of the thorax. It was collapsed into a clump with a clear central line. Heart chambers cannot be delineated. Contrast findings with other tridactyl Maria, where the heart chambers and major vessels could be distinguished. This guy was definitely in a lot worse shape. We'll be getting to that shortly. Findings could have indicated an empty heart due to, exsanguination. I'll find out what that is in a minute. Okay, so first one is evidence of penetrating injury in the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor is kind of like the bottom of your hip. Yeah, something happened there. A well-defined defect was found in the anterior perineum. That's the area right between your genitals and your asshole, for that matter. The defect could be to a deep penetrating injury with a trajectory directed mainly superiorly. Yeah, following trajectory, the band-shaped hematoma was found in the medial posterior wall of the lower uterus, located anterior to the sacral promontory. I am going to do horrible with these words, folks. Fetal lower limb bones were located anterior to the hematoma. So, fetal lower limb bones, all right. So an epidural hematoma in the lower lumbar and sacral spine displacing the fecal sac towards the right side was noted. It extended, you know what, we've got a whole bunch of stuff talking about here. There's some great pictures to go along with it. Let's move on. Significant findings, no evidence of head injury. No foreign body was identified at the site of injury. No evidence of artificial mummification. Other findings. Tridactyl hand and feet, gross abnormal facial features, elongated skull, intra-abdominal pregnancy bearing a single fetus in breech presentation was noted. The bones were completely collapsed and dislodged, likely due to post-mortem changes. 10 metallic objects of various shapes were found in the head, chest, shoulder, and wrist, suggestive of subcutaneous implants. Most of the stuff we've known. So, the cause of death, in conclusion, can be determined based on the CT findings. The evidence obtained highly suggests the possibility of brutal penetrating and blunt injuries leading to a fatal hemorrhage. In other words, this tridactyl was brutally murdered. The right chest wall was penetrated by a large object with significant force to have caused multiple rib fractures, rib displacement, and a fracture to the right scapula. That's the bone up here. A right collapsed lung or hemothorax, ruptured liver, and retrohematomas. 4. Fractures and dislocation in both hands could have been defensive action undertaken. She was then pushed against an elongated hard object, resulting in deep impressions formed in her left chest wall. The left buttock area appeared flat and suggested it landed on a flat surface. Another penetrating injury in the pelvic floor may have resulted in a hematoma in uterine wall, as well as an epidural hematoma of the distal fecal sac. Multiple bruisings from contusion injuries, along with other internal bleeding from ruptured internal organs ensued. Ensured Montserrat eventually succumbed to the injuries. The final cause of death is traumatic injuries. So this wasn't just an alien going off and dying. This is something that was brutally beaten to death. It's a shame to see that. Greg, your hands up.
Thomas, where did they find this creature at? Was it in the bottom of a basin?
It was in a mine in Peru.
Okay, so that leaves us with, it could have been crushed by rocks as well, or perhaps even fallen down, since you said it was pterodactyl-like. Maybe it was trying to, catch some air.
Tridactyl-like, meaning it had 3 fingers and 3 toes on each limb.
No wings.
No wings, no. That'd be a pterodactyl, not a tridactyl.
Okay, so that just means it was found in so maybe traumatic from maybe an avalanche or
it sounds like this thing was beaten with stuff and from multiple ways, and it was trying to protect itself when it was beaten and disabled and eventually died succumbing to its injuries.
So not a cave-in.
Not a cave-in. That'd be flattened. You wouldn't have these kind of pronounced injuries on the corpse.
And considering it was female, and there's obvious signs of penetration near the vaginal area, it could have been sexual. That doesn't sound like an avalanche to me.
Well, potentially this would be something coming from, the special victims unit.
It could be, yes.
Could be, but it sounded like not sexual, but, something horrific because they knew the thing was pregnant, potentially.
Right. And it looked like someone was trying to get to the fetus.
Potentially,
with
yeah.
Incisions, yeah. That's not a good sign.
No incisions, but yeah, it's just, you don't look like us. You're the devil. You're a demon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, coming in the remarks on this particular piece, Montserrat can be best described as a dehydrated corpse. CT evidence provided documentary proof that Montserrat had been a living biological entity with humanoid features. It was not an Egyptian-style artificial mummy, nor had it been fabricated. Soft tissues and solid organs, except for the brain tissue that could persist because of saponification, had vanished largely and were replaced largely by air. However, residual connective tissues, tendons, ligaments, fascial layer, bones, and blood products persisted, allowing for a detailed anatomical and pathological differentiation. Next, clinical visual inspection may be challenging due to the rigid crouching posture. The position of both hands and lower limbs could have been obscured. Many important findings as a non-invasive examination, a virtual autopsy employing advanced 3D image construction, and virtual dissection based on the provided high-resolution CT scan data proved invaluable in this archaeological find. Measurements had not been quoted and may be better made on the original CT scans. So let's get into this. We've got some pictures here to go through, Mike. Whatever happened to this poor being, it was Burley Murray took a lot of pain, unfortunately. So in this first figure, the front view is showing the puncture wound right here in the right chest where the red arrow is, with surrounding cup-shape impression in the skin. The right breast is involved and distorted. The blue arrow indicates the right nipple. Oh, wow. Interesting.
Look at that. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, let's move on. In this next picture we've got here, which I probably need to make it a little bit smaller so the audience can see the picture. Let me just get my face out of here for the time being. All right, so an oblique section of the CT scan, following a broad, deep penetrating track, the green arrows, leading from the puncture hole here in the skin where the red arrow is, and the right side of the thorax that's up in here. The track extends to the hematoma in right pararenal space. So down in here, towards the heart, is where it would be towards. There we go. Let's move on to our next illustrations we have here. Next, front. The front one is showing the trajectory of a simulated object, puncturing object in the violet color here. Let me just go ahead and... Why is this not zooming in? Oh, you don't want to zoom in? Fine. I'll make you zoom in. How about that? Let's zoom in a bit. There we go. So the front view showing the trajectory of the simulated puncturing object in violet color right above the right nipple. So you can see, Mike, what they did is they basically took the cavity that was inside the chest and took it as a straight line and extended it out so you could get an idea of how this creature was potentially, looks like it maybe jabbed with some kind of a small spear.
Did they get a chance to carbon date and identify how old or what the age of the victim is?
I think they were coming in about a little over 2,000 years old in the last results. I'll have to go back to the site and check that in a second, Mike.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next page in here. All right, the next one is the top view showing the trajectory of the simulated puncturing object in the violet color. A broad midline fold in the anterior abdominal wall is also observed. So there's another fold going in stomach area. Not quite sure why. Let's move on to our next one. So the coronal CT scan showing the right breast containing a gap in the red arrow caused by a large hematoma in the green arrow. And hematoma is just an injury to that area that'll fill with blood, correct, Mike? I think it is.
Yeah, it's a blood clot. That's exactly what it is.
So here we go. Here's another one. This one looks pretty interesting. You're still not going to let me zoom in, are you? All right, so let's leave it in that one. The front view showing underlying bones through a transparent skin. You're able to do that with CT imagery. The simulated puncturing object is what they're focusing on a lot here, folks. Caused widening of the fifth intercostal space in the red arrow between the ribs and downward displacement on the anterior ends of the right sixth and seventh ribs. So it got in there, displaced that one rib, and moved the other ones out of place as well. Such displacement suggests a substantial size of the puncturing object. The green arrow points to the hematoma in the right breast. Firefly, I don't think this is a deformed human. It doesn't have the right, if you want to call it, what do you call it again? It doesn't have the right makeup to be a human. And this doesn't look like, because of all the connective tissue, all the blood that's in there, all the stuff, all the dried up muscles and stuff, the way it's put together, doesn't look like it's something that's man-made as well. Now, we have seen those other little ones that were dressed up as little Peruvian dolls to try and get them out of the country. Not quite as much as realistic is what we're seeing with this one. You know, one person finds out, hey, they're finding these mummies and there's a lot of money to be made. Well, everyone likes to make money, and how that goes. So let's go on to our next page here, Mike. All right. Good. All right, and our next one, more showing the gap here. The side view showing bones through transparent skin later, simulated the puncturing object, yes, with the hematoma and the entry site. Let's move on. Here's another view of it, the posterior of the right thoracic cage, showing the multiple rib fractures that happened in the right scapula spine with the green arrow up here. Broke it up in here, and then ribs down here were broken as well. Multiple bruising of the chest wall, colored in pink, where they're seeing the bruising still intact. Gaps in the scapula and humerus are due to computer artifacts. So at least they are trying to point out, Mike, where, you know, things don't look right. Now, one of the things we got to remember, there are egg-laying mammals on this planet, aren't there, Mike?
Yeah, there are.
Right. Besides chickens, besides birds, besides lizards.
Right.
You got the platypus. So let's move on. There we go. Our next one. Inside view of the right fractured rib cage showing multiple rib fractures, simulated path of the penetrating object again. They're just trying to show you the object coming in. So, Mike, it looks like the object came in, but in addition to that, the ribs were also broken as well. So this creature went through a lot of freaking damage.
Yeah, I don't care what this creature was. It died a horrible death, and that's just not right. There's no explanation for that. Nothing should be being tortured like this.
No, not at all.
Whatever it
Hey,
is.
look, it finally decided to go ahead and play along with us. Yeah, so multiple ribs fractured. You've got the one thing coming in over here. It's just, horrible sight.
And what were the weapons of that time? Usually sharp objects like spears, knives, swords.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like that's what was used against it.
Yeah, it could have been a heavy stone thrown at it as well, or potentially thrown off of a higher ledge. Or
whatever it is, It's brutal.
Yeah, it's
bad.
So in our next image, inside view. Okay, so we've got that one there. We've already talked about this one. This is another picture of the scapula, the bone up here. The virtual 3D model of the right scapula showing a displaced fracture in the spine and a chip fracture at the superior border of the scapula. So it broke off a chunk of the spine and the scapula itself and left a chip behind. Wow. That is scary stuff for this poor entity. Now, something else that they also found, Mike, was this big, huge laceration in the back. They're saying an oblique, deep trench-like robe with the red arrow, this one we're seeing right here, is seen in the posterior and lateral aspect of the left chest wall below the scapula. A simulated blue arrow is shown suggestive of the chest wall impressed against an elongated hard object. It was bordered by a elevated thickening skin folds. Note that the flat surface could be a landing zone in the left buttock, meaning they threw it off, Mike, a cliff or something. Yeah. And then from there, it impacted on the left buttock in the perineum, the bottom of your butt.
Yeah, this is whatever it was.
A
horrible death.
And it doesn't look like this is something that's been put together by humans, does it?
Not from these images.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it may not be alien, but it could be a life form, right? That no longer exists on this planet that we're just not aware of because of all the catastrophic flooding at different times we've had going back for millennia.
Could be an extinct species. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. They're calling it aliens. I put on the title card as a potential alien, to get everybody's attention. But whatever it is, this thing looks like you said, Mike, lived a horrible death or went through a horrible death. And here's another part. Look at this. We've got some more ribs that are broken. So the fracture in the red arrow in the left 11th rib shown in the posterior view of the left image and the inner view on the right image. The callus formation of inner view suggests a healing fracture. So the left 12th rib is absent, which is a normal variant. The chest wall bruisings are colored in pink. So looks like this wasn't the first time that this creature had broken a rib potentially, because they found one that's actually a healing fracture.
So it had sustained injuries like this when it was alive.
Well, yeah, and it was actually still healing. And this one may be an older injury it received at another time. If we can, we do have a couple people in the back with their hands up. First, I believe it's Andy and then Laura.
Yeah, I find it quite interesting that it reminds me of the mummies that they found in Europe. The bog people who've been found in peat marshes, and there was Yurtsi, is it? I can't remember. Found on top of a mountain. Who they all succumbed to rather nasty deaths.
Yeah,
and they weren't preserved through the mummification process.
They fell into a bog.
In Egypt. Yeah, these were all natural mummifications.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely what's happened to this individual creature, whatever it was when it was alive, whether it's human or something other. But it really, really struck me sort of, a lot of the in fact, I think all of the mummies they basically found, out in the wilds, not in, there are some that are sort of naturally occurred in churches and things, but all of the ones that are found that were either sacrificial or murder victims or whatever have you, they've all sort of been mummified the same way as this thing, and they all succumbed.
But exactly, it's a natural mummification process versus like what we do in natural death today, where we remove the organs and a whole bunch of other stuff. This is more just, if you want to call it, dried out in the DICOM mines that are there. And someone was asking, do you think they died in the fetal position? No, it looks like these things were actually put into that position, coated with a particular dust for mummification, like it was some kind of a ceremony they're going through. But you did forget one thing, Andy, though. In Crimea, ancient Crimea, They have found remains of human-like entities with elongated skulls that perfectly match up to the same ones that they found down in Peru as well.
Interesting. But also, I would like to know as well, whether actually the skeletal remains of this being match ours. If it's a completely positive match for a human skeleton, then okay, it's not. So, yeah, it's certainly, this seems to be the most plausible out of all of the ones that we've heard of, but actually it could be a genuine whatever.
It's a something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a something. Let's move on next. Does that answer your question, Andy?
Yep.
All right, let's go on to Laura. Laura, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I talked about this a long time ago, years ago, when it first came out. I targeted her to be remote viewed. For what it's worth, this could be wrong, of course. We got that the being was Nicean, who had family. She was caught and captured by fearful people, primitive humans at the time. She was sad when she knew she would be killed, and they killed her because simply it had to do with fear. They put her in a bag and rigor mortis set in. So that's why she's in that odd shape. It was like a, kind of a weird burlappy.
But there's actually like two of them who they found at that time that are in that same kind of a pose.
Yeah. That's what we got Nicean.
Yeah.
Being.
Interesting. Anyway, thank you for that info, Laura. I appreciate the info you always bring in.
You're welcome.
I think that's everybody with their hand up. Mike, let's continue on with this. We got a couple more pages left in this, I think. All right, here we go. There's the hand put together out of bones and connective tissue and everything pulled together, and it's showing a dislocation seen in the distal phalange of the radial side finger. It's equivalent to its pinky on the tridactyl's right hand. So they're thinking this potentially could have been from it trying to protect itself, not necessarily damaged in transport, because if it was broken off, it would be flopping around, wouldn't it, Laura? And here we go, an undisplaced fracture node at the base of the distal phalange of the middle finger in the left tridactyl hand. It's last time to give them literally the middle finger. And they broke it, unfortunately. All right, let's move on. The next one is CT scan of the right foot showing a transverse fracture across the medial cuneiform bone. The CT image on the right of the right foot showing a widening of the fracture where the red arrows are in the plantar surface of the medial cuneiform bone. So bottom of the foot. Yeah, it takes a lot to break your what do you call it? Your ankle or the heel of your foot, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Let's move on. What else we've got here? All right, in figure 16, getting through this, the image on the left shows a CT scan of the thoracic region. That's up in here. The red arrow indicates the collapsed structure representing thoracic, that's heart, chest, the T-spine. This is the C-spine, this is the T-spine. So we're looking at this part of the chest, representing the heart containing in the distinct central line. For comparison, image on the right, CTs of another tridactyl Maria with the normal-looking heart chambers in the green arrow. So here's how the heart looked in this one, like it was collapsed down for some reason. And the other one with Maria, you can actually still see the outlines of where the heart was. Let's move on. On our next one, in an inferior view of Montserrat showing a regular puncture wound in the perineum, the green arrow points to the clitoris. So it looks like, Mike, they tried to jab her right between the eyes.
Yeah. It's whatever it was, whatever this creature was, it's a horrible way to die.
Yeah.
It's just really, even though it's been 2,000 years since this happened, it's still traumatic to go over these results.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. Now, moving to this one. This is a coronal CT scan of Montserrat showing the gaping wound in the pelvic floor that also involves the right side of the vagina. So here's the right side of the, yeah, they went for her insides. They tried to kill her.
I told you they were trying to get the baby out of something.
Or they were trying to kill the baby in general.
Something like that. Right. They tried to stab it in the stomach, the abdomen, into the vagina. Yeah, they were trying to kill whatever was inside her as well.
Yeah.
Which is just fucked up. That's not a way to die.
Yeah, and I think we're looking now at a side view. We're seeing the spine going down to the, from the L spine going down to the S spine area. And what are they going to tell us about in this one here? The midline sagittal CT scan showing the gaping wound again here in the pelvic floor and vagina. And the red arrow, there we go. Localized hematoma in the posterior wall of the uterus, which is here, which means, yeah, they
got in.
They got in. Noted in front of the sacral promontory, the fetal lower limb bones are seen just anterior of the hematoma. Yep, where are the blue arrows? Is that where the, no, anterior the hematoma, the epidural hematoma, the blue arrows, is also seen. So they even stabbed the lower back to get to the baby.
Yeah, that's what I said. It looks like they were trying to get to the fetus.
Sounds like those gangs that the DNI is talking about taking out, that we're going ahead and bringing in women into the country and then harvesting the baby with a CT and then taking the organs and selling them on the market.
Yeah, this is just, it sounds something that is what they did, they were doing out of hate, not fear, it looks like to me.
Yeah, we seem to see that a lot.
We do, unfortunately.
Yeah. What's the old saying? No hate? Yeah. Let's move on. And the next one we're going to see here, the coronal CT showing the localized hematoma in reb, in the mid wall of the lower uterus, the fetal lower limb bones where the green arrow is, were seen adjacent to the hematoma. So there's only some of the bones left. That means they probably, oh God.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
This is beginning to look more like torture than it is homicide.
Well, it's a brutal murder of a life form that humans didn't like because it was different. Yeah. Wow. Let's move in a little bit. Go ahead.
If it was just simply that, you just kill it, you execute it, and be done with it. This goes beyond that. This wasn't an execution.
No.
That's what I'm having trouble with. As strange as that may sound.
Yeah. Well, Tia Marie, your hand's up.
You know, maybe it was a sacrifice because they did a lot of ritual.
I've never seen ritual stuff like this before. Have you?
No, I've heard about some crazy shit. Like, you know, is it even down in the Sumerians or in maybe the people that ran them out, they were the things that they did, they would kill thousands in a day.
Well, down in Mexico, they would go ahead and rip open their chest and pull out their beating heart and hold it up like it was a sacrificial to the god. This doesn't even like that. They're not taking anything out. They're just trying to kill whatever they can. It's inside.
And, you know, they did some crazy shit, some real crazy stuff back then.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. That's how I see it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. This was done in hate.
I'm glad they were able to at least get all this new data and information.
Yeah. Definitely. Jay Albertson, your hand is up, my friend.
Yeah, I was going to say what it looks like to me is genocide. That's what comes to mind is they didn't want any of this baby. They didn't really care if it was alive or if it was in one piece. They didn't. If it was a sacrifice or something, you would see sacrificial marks on it somewhere, not just marks everywhere. I mean, and also the if they were actually trying to take the baby out and not ruin the baby, like if they were trying to sell remains, whatever, they would want it in one piece. So they wouldn't try to stab it in all these different directions.
And then pull it out, because you got to ask the question, where are the rest of the bones from the baby that were taken out, potentially?
Yeah. But that's what came to mind for me. It seems like genocide to me. Like they just wanted to kill the mother and make sure the baby was dead.
Yeah. It seems that way. So on this one, the coronal CT scan showing the epidural hematoma extending to the preneural sheath of the right first sacral nerve root. This is the bottom of her spine. This is the hip that's down there as well. So there's a fetal skull. Oh, still in the body. A fetal skull, the red arrow, is noted in the uterus, located to the right side of the abdomen. Odotamus wall thickening in green arrow is noted on the right side of the abdomen pelvis. I would probably say, no, it's not the yellow arrow, but that's just kind of what we're seeing with the hip going on with it in general. And this next image, we've got the coronal CT scan showing the epidural hematoma, the red arrow in the lumbar sacral spine, causing displacement of the thecal sac, which is the green arrow that's at the bottom of the spine, towards the right side. Note the odematous thickening where the blue arrow is in the right abdominal wall, probably from the collection of blood from the injury that took place. Let's move on to this next one. The axial CT scan showing the epidural hematoma, where the red arrow is, in the sacral spine, causing displacement of the thecal sac, again, where the green arrow is, towards the right side. Note the hematoma in the posterior wall of the uterus, which is the blue arrow adjacent to the sacral peronotomy. The fetus yellow arrow is seen in the right side of the abdomen. So it looks like, Mike, they jabbed from the back by the lower spine and got through into the actual uterus.
Right. Which, again, is fucking brutal. Really is. That's not defensive. That's not fear. That's anger, hostility, and hatred.
That's genocide.
Well, homicide at the very least.
Yeah.
For genocide, there would have to be multiple victims there.
Well, we'll find out eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, but actually, if you go to Malta, to the Hypogeum, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that underground facility that was built, ground out of the bedrock, right?
Right.
And it has archaeal acoustics in it, to where you can stand in one spot in that place and talk, and anybody throughout the entire complex can go ahead and hear you.
Right.
Right through the vibrations to go bring the sound right into your head. So in the very bottom of that, when it was first discovered, I think they found, Mike, thousands of elongated skulls. That would be the size, the if you want to call it, the evidence of a genocide.
Oh, fuck yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason or cause for possible extinction of a species.
Right. More evidence of the brutal tactics of humans, right? And what we're known to do in the history, including, the shit we do today. None of this is good.
And it doesn't seem like very much has changed from then to now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I've read stuff today about what the cartels do down in Mexico with chainsaws and unsuspecting women.
Yeah. It shows you the brutality is not slowed down very much.
Well, exactly. Well, apparently they did it slow for a reason. Before we move on, let's see. We have who had their hands up. Was it Jay had his hand up? At Alice? Go ahead.
Yeah, and we wonder why there's no alien contact, right? After you see that.
Yeah, well, just look at humans in general. We're not the nicest.
Not a great species, huh?
No, we're not.
We have a lot to learn.
So that's
really sad. It's like the worst abortion. It's the worst.
Well, it's murder. It's barbarianism. Is another way you could look at it. So here's another way they're showing where all these different things have been poked in. Yes, Alice?
What did the DNA show? I didn't catch that. I came on a little late.
I need to go ahead and look up the DNA stuff on this.
Okay. Thank you.
But I believe it's non-human based on the DNA tests that have been done.
None at all or partial? Anything? Do you remember?
Well, mice have partial human DNA.
Well,
You know,
they're
we
the
need to
better
look
part
at
of
it and
us,
say,
I
are there
imagine.
any of the things that are in humans that are not in any other species in this? We'll have to find out. But, you know, that would tell it one way or the other, whether it was part of humanity or not. But it looks like definitely not. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's a shame, Thomas.
Yeah, it is. And let's
Thanks
move on
for
to the...
sharing it.
No,
It's horrible.
It's horrible, but you know what? It's archaeology, it's history, it's world history, and it shows that humans were as awful in the past as they are today.
Correct.
Might even be more worse today than we were back then, based on the
that
science
would have
they've been
been a
doing.
genocide because there were thousands. I think there were 3 types of mummies caught in that area, right? There
Yeah,
was
but a lot of the
taller
ones that
one, a
were
shorter
there
one.
were the ones that were made up and put together of other aminals that were
Aminals.
reconstructed for money. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
I
know
guess
there were
Ms.
3
Cusseld
different-
says there is 30% unknown DNA in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goes back to like, the Nephilim and that kind of thing. I know they were supposed to be giants, but
Who knows
partial
what it goes
human.
back to? You know, we've had so many global catastrophes, global cataclysms to wipe the surface clean of 90% of the life, and this happens on a regular 12,000 year cycle. Would you look at that? Oh, it's over 12,000 years. We're overdue.
oh man, were they all the tridactyls?
Yeah, but some of them are really fake.
I know the ones had fingers falling off. Those ones. Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was-
exactly. But yeah, if we can, let's get back to this. I don't have the information up on the other stuff yet. All right, so let's get into this, Mike. All right, so proposed trajectory of the penetrating object through the pelvic floor. The red arrow paints to the hematoma in the posterior wall of the uterus. The green arrow points to the fetal cranial bones. Oh, wow, they jabbed it up there. Wow.
Holy shit.
So, yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is disturbing to watch, even though it's
Yeah.
a 2,000-year-old mummy.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Let's move on to the next one. So, wow, these are all the visualizations. Dr. Fung did a great job breaking all this stuff down. He's a renowned expert. His artworks have been exhibited in museums in various countries, including USA, Europe, China, Australia, and Hong Kong. His current exhibits in the 2025 Hong Kong Museum of Medical Sciences featuring stereoscopic 3D and 4D imaging and art, and in Nina Park featuring the Nina Woods Fossils Collection in Hong Kong. Through collaboration with Science Photo Library, his interdisciplinary works, bridging art and science, had been made available to various international renowned digital media, magazines, books, and journals. So the guy who actually dove into this has some pretty decent credentials and has over 40 years of experience in diagnostic radiology.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people get this, and we see where we're at. Let me go ahead and figure out where we're at and where we're going to go next. Oh, where are we going next? Let's figure this out. Well, I have a palate cleansing video, Mike.
We could certainly use that after that.
Yeah, we all need something good. How about some good bluegrass music from a family band down in the South? You know, and when people say, what are we going ahead and trying to do here to protect the people of the United States of America from the shit going on, this is the kind of stuff we all need to fight for. Let's go ahead and bring this up. I think the audience should like this one. Let's bring
they
it out.
will.
Here we go.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Wait a minute, my mic was muted. Yes, it was muted because it was coming through my microphone and I forgot about it. What a great family. It's like the modern family Von Trapp. But you know what? They're good. I think my mic is back. Everyone should hear it now. You can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can I see in the chat? Yeah, we got it. Perfect conversation. Good way to clean a mind cleansing palate. I guess you could go ahead and smell the coffee to try and get rid of something like that, or grind the coffee and everything. I think, yes, we can. Absolutely. All right. In other UFO news, I think I've got one here somewhere. Let me go ahead and find something here on X. I know I've got a bookmark on this one that I want to go ahead and play. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. All right. What's the old saying, Mike? One good video deserves another?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Let me bring this next one up for us to go ahead and watch. This next one comes to us, Mike, from the UFO Joe. You know Joel Murgia.
I do. He went after Jason Sands today.
No. Why would someone want to go after a whistleblower like Jason Sands?
Because they were disagreeing on something, and it went back and forth for a while.
Oh yes.
But go ahead, play the video.
All right. So so here we're back to the broadcast that was out last weekend from New Paradigm Institute talking about disclosure, and Joel Murgia says this is really good. Let's get this up here for the audience to see before we click into this. Oh, dang it. All right. I'm gonna make a little derailment before we get there, Mike. Getting to this video, I've got another video that I need to play. Remember when we covered all the stuff going on down in East Palestine?
I do, yeah.
Ohio, and the then president at the time, or Buttigieg said, "Oh, there's nothing there. It's all fine," and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Look at this clip. I don't think I've seen this before, of J.D. Vance down in East Palestine addressing the situation. This is something special. Let's get to it.
No, we never saw that before.
All right, so let's play. Am I in the wrong browser? No, I'm in the browser that no one's going to hear that in. Let me get to Brave really quick. Open up a window, paste it there. Bring it around here so people can actually hear this. Bring it up one more time. Zoom it up. All right. Don't forget these people is the message. So let's play it one more time. Here we go.
I'm here at Leslie Run, and there's dead worms and dead fish all throughout this water. So, something I just discovered is that if you scrape the creek bed, it's like chemical is coming out of the ground. Can you come here? And let me just show this to people. I don't know if you're going to see this on camera, but watch this. Just see that chemical pop out of the creek. This is disgusting. And the fact that we have not cleaned up the train crash, the fact that these chemicals are still seeping in the ground is an insult to the people who live in East Palestine. Do not forget these people. We've got to keep applying pressure. That's how we're going to fix this problem. Thank you.
Mike, your thoughts on this one?
Are they proposing to do a cleanup in that area from years ago?
Well, it sure as hell sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, potentially. I just don't know where they're going to get the funding for that.
Either that or it has to become a Superfund site where the federal government comes in and buys out all the property in the area because it's all contaminated and it's not safe for people to live there.
Well, they should have did that from day one, and we mentioned that when we were covering this live.
Yeah, I know.
I guess they're finally getting around to it.
Hey, it's better late than never sometimes, right?
Yeah, you could be right about that.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple people in the back with their hands up. Let's take a look at who's in the queue. We've got Alice and Tia and Daryl. Alice, go ahead.
Oh, I must be there from last time. Sorry.
All right, put your hand down. Thank you. Let's go to Tia.
I think this happened when Pete Buttigieg or whatever that guy's name was in charge.
Buttigieg, yes.
Yeah. But anyway, this is absolutely terrible. Not only did it go into the ground, but it got into the air. Imagine what these people are going to suffer in 10, 20 years from now.
But it wasn't just there. It was everywhere for 10 miles in every direction. There was this black cloud that was everywhere. And if you remember, there were people who had like snow coming down, but it wasn't snow. It was the fallout from the chemicals that were in the air.
And he did absolutely nothing for a long time, and then did nothing even more.
Are you talking about the former President Biden? Are you talking about Pete Buttigieg, who was the VP, the head of Department of Transportation at that time?
Yeah, I'm talking about Pete because it was his job. I mean, President Biden should have, but now we all know that how that went. But it's Pete's fault.
Hey, Marcus, really quick. We're not blaming Pete because he's gay. We're blaming Pete because he was incompetent at that time. Being gay doesn't make him incompetent. Leaving this kind of a mess and not addressing it the way that it was, that is incompetent.
Yeah, and first, and I'm gay. I'm married to a woman, so that's an insult.
Yeah.
But anyways,
He said he was joking, but I just had to point it out because it's
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Daryl Zernick, your hand is up.
Yeah, I think the video is from February 3rd, just so you know. It's been 8 months or so.
Okay. At least it's somewhat recent.
and I'd also like to say I am gay and married to a woman also. Thank you.
There you go. You're happy. All right, let's get out of that one. That's not or oh boy, bookmarks. Let's get to this next one. Where are we at? Okay, and this next one, Mike, from Joe Murgia. This is really good. In my view, there is absolutely an adversarial actor in our world. There is a non-human engagement program or human engagement program underway. I don't think it's the rainbow that every kind of kid hopes that it is. Oh, this is coming from Mr. Reed Summers. Let's bring up, I got the clip here in high definition, I think. So let's go ahead and play this one. All right, let me throw up the fair use coming from this. Bring more attention to Danny Sheen and his efforts.
I've been told that the United States has developed quite advanced weaponry, particularly plasma beam technology, that might in part have been inspired by what they've seen or recovered from non-human technology. I think also, just to add the concern of NHI with what humanity is doing, there's also a very deliberate lifting of consciousness. And I really am struck by what Chris says about the frequency. This is something that I'm getting from so many people. The level of intensity of public reporting of their engagement with NHI, of a clear intent by NHI to essentially give up on governments from ever disclosing, but to raise human consciousness and awareness. And I think they're doing this increasingly through direct engagement with individuals. I've got many friends and colleagues and people I've interviewed, witnesses, who've had incredible experiences. I've just been recording for a TV show something that we're doing here in Australia where people are inviting or summoning the phenomenon. And there seems to be an interest in the phenomenon engaging with humans much, much more overtly. And I do think that stems from a concern about us primitive monkeys playing with matches.
But Reed, speak to us about this interplay between malevolence and benevolence.
Sure. Well, and you described, Jim, the first part of my life in which I was focused primarily on supporting my father, Marshall, who had direct encounters with NHI, communications with NHI, and my family felt the full force and impact of what that was like, as well as what comes with it, which is what might be called the hitchhiker effect, the anomalous effects that attend those who have been selected by the phenomenon without their understanding or knowing why. But my later work is really about assessing intent with a structured framework. I think we need to step back from belief systems, hopeful or fearful interpretations, and lay out the spectrum of possibilities, right? From curiosity on the left, salvation and assistance even further on the left, to transaction, integration on the right, or even something more hostile. And in the end, intent is all about human outcomes. We can't know their consciousness. The project in my mind right now is not, let's set out to understand what they're like, who they are, how they think, how they cognate. That's impossible in my perspective. But we can assess the real human outcomes that stem from the hazard and the risk and the possible threat of a non-human factor acting upon, like a forcing, an environmental or evolutionary forcing upon humanity at a historically unprecedented time. And there are significant signals and indicators in the history of the phenomenon that give very good anchors for assessing intent and for going from possibilities to probabilities and ultimately making a starting assessment which informs the research pathway, which is the other part of my work in supporting the Human Institute, devising an intelligent scientific research and investigatory citizen-led effort to uncover the phenomenon, to disclose it, to interrogate its activity, lest we just be interrogated unknowingly ourselves. So a lot of good work to do there. But in my view, when you look at all that the censored data has given us technologically, when you corroborate that with the geographic, circumstantial, temporal aspects of how the phenomena appears, who it manifests to, and the considerable problem it presents to the international community and to national laws and frameworks that govern territorial sovereignty, these incursions into sensitive sites, and the potential programmatic engagement with civilians in the form of physical NHI-initiated contact, abductions. It builds a picture, it bounds those possibilities into a zone of probabilities. And whether it's a transactional presence, whether it's an integrative or one that wants to integrate with humanity or ultimately replace humanity, I think there are multiple possibilities at play and multiple intents at play, although I don't think it's the rainbow that everyone kind of hopes it is. It's not everything the universe has to offer is going to come all at once now and function harmoniously in our skies and oceans. No. The hostile intent will not tolerate a beneficial actor who themselves would have to arm themselves and militarily confront the hostile actor, which we do not see indications of. So, we have analogs in our own human history to this. The natives of the New World, they looked out on the quay and they saw the ships, different flags, different vessels, and they assumed it's got to be either the angels from the spirit realm, it has to comport to our belief system, or a variety of intentions, and we should work with and collaborate. And it may not be that way. It's not about it's all hostile or it's all beneficial or benevolent. In my mind, it's exosystemic. It's an ecosystem arriving on our shores at a specific 20th century moment in which we have detonated nuclear weapons, we have flashed the universe with technology capability, and we have triggered an engagement event. This is really what this is, and a program to engage humanity over a longitudinal time period. And so we need to step back and really look at the human project of getting our act together to diplomatically engage now and in the future, to manage the NHI presence internationally and coordinate responses, lest we divide and conquer ourselves over this issue. And that's where the reframing of disclosure as fundamentally belonging to the human species, being one that should, I think, be framed in first principles, to Carl Nell's point, with a naturalistic framework, a science-informed, data-driven framework. And with that, we go out into the field and collect evidence on the phenomenon. We go out to where it is interacting with people. That's the key missing data set that would be necessary to inform decision makers. But just to kind of wrap up here, I want to have Richard speak as well. In my view, there absolutely is an adversarial actor in our world. There is a human engagement program underway, and that's not the whole story. But if that is true, that should marshal our human response above all other possibilities initially, because we may wake up in 30 years and find that we are not the human beings we used to be. genetic interventions, cultural influence, right? Social engineering, all of these could be at play in a subversive sense. And, NHI is operating in a strategic silence, in a state of non-disclosure. They're operating covertly and selectively with military defense organizations internationally, which are already in competition. And that, to me, is another one of a number of alarming signals that should just command us to take a cautionary response. And we've got to get out there and use the best of science, research, and investigation to do reconnaissance, as I call it, on behalf of the human interest and not just national interests.
Yeah, that's a profound way to put it, Reed, that we've triggered an interaction event. I mean,
Right.
I think.
Right. And so, intelligence indicates intent. Intentful engagement indicates a program. And so what is their program? We talk about the legacy human program. What about the non-human program? We do not query that nearly as much as we should. And in my view, disclosure, how do we get disclosure moving? If we recenter the controversy not on human actors, human governments, but on the non-human presence itself, that allows the human actors a way to rapidly and catastrophically disclose their involvements, which is what is keeping this back in part. So
thank you.
Interesting conversation, Mike.
Oh, it certainly is.
Yeah.
I agree. He makes some good points.
Right. They do.
Oh, I know. Because we don't know what the advanced civilization here on Earth with us is up to, what their motives are.
All I have to say, Mike, not the most representative audience, is it?
No, it is not diverse.
Not even close. Not even close.
Nope.
Now, Mike, I have just asked Brian Pemble to join the show if he could. I see him in the chat. Would love to have you here, Brian. Because you know what we're talking about next.
Oh, I know where this is going. Yeah, Brian can join if he wants to.
Yeah. Now, you sent me the tweet on that, I think, didn't you, Mike?
I did, yes. Yes, we could read the statement. Check your DMs.
Yeah. All right. Bring this around here. Get rid of this one. Where I do with Brave again. Brave, why are you here? Oh, you are in Brave already. Good. I am Brave. All right.
Yeah.
I think Brian's going to join us. Last time, Brian. Starts the B,
Brian,
ends with
jump
an
in the
N.
back.
There's a Raya in there somewhere.
Yeah, we
10
would like
seconds,
to continue
Bob.
the conversation in the back chat.
Yes. All right. So coming to us from Johnny Stewart, former wrestler, candidate for governor of the state of Illinois. I think he would have been better than Pritzker if you ask me. All you'd have to do is have a pulse to be better than Pritzker, let's be honest. But I like the pink shirt. It's nice. Let's move on. What happened at 4:15 p.m. Central? Oh, here it comes, Brian. There we go. No, this is coming to us from John Stewart today at 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, or 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. While hanging Halloween decorations, the search finally ended. 6 years of pursuit of whispers, lies, and long nights wondering if I'd gone too far. And then at last I communicated with the real Victor, finally. What he communicated to me didn't give me peace. It gave me responsibility. Because some truths aren't meant for broadcast, they aren't evidence or entertainment, they are a mirror held up to the people who created them and experienced them. I know enough now to understand that revealing everything would only feed the same machinery that built the myth in the first place. So the truth ends here with me, not out of fear, but out of respect for the lives entangled in it and for the questions that it should remain questions. This is my last word on the alien interview subject. For all you who stood by me, for those of you who laughed and mocked me, and for all of those who were curious onlookers upon a potential car crash, thank you for being witness to maybe the craziest journey ever. Your old Uncle John will remember each one of you with fondness and nostalgia. Goodbye, folks, and yes, it's over. Brian, your hand is up. I know you've been personal friends with John Stewart for some time.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Yes, and John and I had lunch about a week ago or so, and we talked about this as well. Look, John Stewart is one of these guys, and just so everybody knows that he wears his heart on his sleeve. So if you send something to John, he's going to post it.
Right.
He is very honest in everything he says, but that can also lead to if you're doing disinformation or anything else, and you feed it to him, he will post it.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's very obvious. I've got a lot more to say about it. I could probably talk about in the back chat a little more. But Victor, that him and I've been on this with him as well. And him and I have argued about it, and we've talked about it a bunch. I don't think it's who he thinks it is. And that's the problem that John and I are arguing about with now. So I don't think that John's correct. So just so you guys know.
Yeah. So is he done from the whole ufology in general, or is he just stepping back from the alien interview piece?
I don't think he's done it all. So I think you will see him come back. I've talked to him about another piece, which I would like to actually talk about with you and Michael as well, that are on a different topic. But he is an honest guy. I will say that, and so I don't want any of the viewers or anybody else to think that he's not honest. He is honest, but he is vulnerable to disinformation, and he knows that. He knows it. He's willing to say anything that comes from anybody. So that's appropriate to say, and I think John would agree with me on that. I don't think he's done. He may say he's done, but I don't think he's done.
A lot of people say they're done, like Ivan Hanel many times has said, I'm done. I'm not going to be on Twitter. I'm done with this thing. And Mike, how long does it usually take him? About a weekend and he's back?
Yeah, that's about it. Yep. And he comes right back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing, Mike and Thomas. I do think that's the same thing. There's two sides of this card. Yes, it's a lot of crap that comes forward, and John knows this too.
Yeah.
I mean, him and I talked to him this morning actually for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'll probably agree with you that there's a lot of crap on there. And he'll put forward everything. So you take that for what it's worth. There are some things, in my opinion, that John puts forward that are correct, and there are some things that are not. And John will probably say the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a great picture, great attitude, and let's hopefully he'll just see past. You can't go ahead and set your whole future based on one item. It's one piece, and if it's there, put it back in the closet for a while. Put it back up on a shelf behind you, actually. Wait a period of time, and you might come back to it with a different perspective. You just got to take a deep breath, brush yourself off, and keep on going, right?
100% agree, Thomas. And, in the back chat, I'd love to discuss more with everybody. And Thomas will tell you this, too, that back chat is where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got to be careful these days. There are some trolls out there who want to listen in for anything we could possibly say to twist it against us. Not the funnest times. Appreciate it, though, Brian. All right.
Absolutely. Anytime, Thomas. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, John Stewart, on pause for now. We'll see if his account goes away. He said he was done. He didn't say he was deleting his Twitter account. So we'll see what goes. Sometimes, like Lou Elizondo has said in the past, you just need to take a break, get a hobby, go do some other stuff for a period of time. But I have, like Mike was saying, I don't have a doubt either with you, Brian, saying that give him a little bit of time and he'll be back and stronger than ever.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to Brian after the show and see exactly what's coming next. So that'll be another good conversation.
Oh, God, yeah. Where am I going? There we go. Uh-oh. My mouse pad's floating. How about that? Not even a mouse pad. It's a touchpad. Got to enjoy it. Where am I going to next? Let's see what else we've got here. If anything, Nick has his hand raised. Nick?
Yes, but Thomas, do you think the age of disclosure will have any impact on disclosure going forward, or will it just be another like UFO documentary?
The age of disclosure, is it going to move the needle for the average person? Well, let's just say at an introductory price of $24.99, no. It's not going to go ahead and move the needle. There may be some things that could be in there that could be big, but if you want it to go ahead and hit mass market, everybody needs to be able to see it. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of people going for $24.99. I guess that's to buy it. Hopefully that's not the rental price.
I mean, the average politician could actually see it, and they would be like, do you think it would influence like members of Congress or Senate?
Oh, hell no.
No?
Come on, they can't read anything. They can't watch anything about UFOs. Matt Laszlo asks them all the time, and they don't have a freaking clue. So do you think we're going to be able to get members of Congress to sit down and, besides Tim Burchett, he's the only one who's worth it these days, it seems, Mike.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
You know, Tim Burchett, if he's going to see it, yeah, it's going to be the people who have interest in and want to do something. Maybe Eric Burleson might be interested in this something, but are we going to see other people potentially jumping into this and saying, this is great, we need to watch it? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought there was supposed to be a
delay.
No, not a delay. There's supposed, can't talk about that. There's supposed to be a briefing, not a briefing, or if you want to call it a screening of of that movie, The Age of Disclosure, right? There's supposed to be a screening of it for Congress, for the House and for the Senate. And I remember when Matt Laszlo broke about that, or somebody did, Andre Carson got really pissed off that you shouldn't be talking about this. This is this is private. But why would it be private? You want to celebrate it that the members of the House of Representatives are going to come together and watch it. But then again, Mike, they've been on a fucking vacation, haven't they?
Oh, yes. The whole time. Yep.
Oh yeah, with too much time on their hands to go ahead and be a troll on Twitter.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Oh yeah,
that's what they're doing with their time off. It seems like.
Yeah.
Trolling.
But Mike, it also demonstrates their level of knowledge and expertise.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
To about zero. Yeah.
No. You got to talk nice. They are so on target. No, they're not. Oh, look, it's a pretty picture. Repost, yeah. But oh God, I said it, but that's okay. All right, what is someone else saying in the chat? We got another super chat that came in from Dragon Vidanovic. I'm puzzled how all my friends are totally uninterested in the topic. Well, Mike, if you were to go back to the first UAPTF hearing, I think when that first UAPTF hearing happened, that was peak disclosure.
It was.
Right? But
you're right.
Still, again, when we had that first hearing, you know how many headlines we got on newspapers across the United States?
Zero.
Fucking zero. Not one. There was a bunch of coverage. There was all over the news. Trust me, I've got all the news episodes we covered here. There was a lot of interest. There were a lot of people. There was a lot of talk about it. But then I think it was in 2022, 3 years ago, end of 2021, after the hearing happened, there was rumors going that the Air Force was trying to put the genie back in the bottle, and we're like, there's no fucking way. They're never going to be able to do this. How could they put the genie back in the bottle after this? But listen to the Pentagon, and when the first UFO hearing happened, and listen to the Pentagon today. They've put the genie back in the bottle. Now.
So we were wrong.
Well, right.
Who knew? Didn't seem possible at the time.
No. So when was the first UFO hearing?
July 26th.
Oh, UT Smoke is here. Hello, UT Smoke. Good to see you. It's been a while. We got a new friend in the chat, Mike.
UFO Smug?
No, UT Smoke.
Okay.
Oh, let's look at channel activity. Oh, he is a really good friend. Good to see you, UT Smoke. Love to have you around. Oh, he's a troll, apparently.
Oh, absolutely. So
let's go ahead and take a look. Would you like to hear about all the different things that UT Smoke has said on the channel so far?
No, just get rid of him. And we'll move on.
No. We could, but it's such good reading. Oh, so Mike, you don't want to delete him or Kelly. Don't. I'm bringing it up as an example. Class, stop it. Thank you.
Is that what he said?
No. I'll share what he said later. Well, I have to go ahead and unfucked up that happened. I need to, deleted message. Then he got deleted. Then he was timed out for so many seconds by Kelly. Good job, Kelly. But we got to have a little bit more compassion for the trolls. Let them sink themselves. And I'm just going to put them in a timeout for 10 seconds instead of 6,500. There we go. I'll send you a text message, Mike. How about that?
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'll send you a DM.
DM. Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Got to have some fun. Unfortunately, Teal left.
Yeah. Well, listen, mods were quick on the trigger.
Oh, after I pointed them out, yeah. But yeah. Okay, UT Smoke, you're fine now. We got you. But it's always great to see a super fan, Mike.
Yep. It is.
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, where am I going next? Let's find out where I'm going to. All right, so we got that one. Let's look at bookmarks. What else do we have in here on disclosure? Oh, this is a good one. I know I had the frickin'... Oh, son of a bitch, where did that window go? There it is. Okay. So let's bring this one up. Nope. Here we go from this one. This is coming to us about Americans for Safe Aerospace, Mike. They've started going ahead and releasing information. You know, that's Ryan Graves' organization. To go ahead and try and bring out the truth about different UFO sightings and everything. Let's get to this. Let's see if I can find this. All right, here we go. All right, so coming from Tom Thompson over on X, also known as Cortex Zero, a Department of Defense contractor has informed Americans for Aerospace that the U.S. unmanned aerial system sensors, which are electro-optical and infrared, captured multiple unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, off the coast of South Korea. The data set... I need to get rid of that. There we go. The data set, the data set probably includes 5 separate recordings. The witnesses describes encountering a smooth tic-tac-shaped object, a rust-colored peanut-shaped object, and a smaller 2-meter tic-tac variant, all observed in both electro-optical and IR modes. These objects appear to exhibit performance characteristics beyond known aerodynamics, generating positive lift, executing rapid acceleration, and achieving hypersonic velocities. The source will participate in a members-only Ask Me Anything with the Americans for Safe Aerospace on November 12th to discuss the details. And we have a full report available for the comment, Mike, and I believe that one there is right here. Come on. Oh, you're in the wrong browser. Oh, you're not going to know me, are you? Screw you. I'm not going to sign in again. Let's get to it. Here we go. So this is a report from the military 2023-72. This sounds like the 72nd report that happened in 2023. So this goes over to the same thing. Department of Defense contractor with TS-SCI clearance recorded multiple UAP events using electro-optical and infrared sensors off the coast of South Korea. Good to know that not just in the United States, Mike. Across 5 videos, the contractor captured several distinct objects: a smooth white seamless tic-tac-shake object, a rust-colored peanut-shaped UAP, and another 2-meter tic-tac observed in in both electro-optical and IR modes. The objects demonstrated positive lift, rapid acceleration, and unconventional velocities. Make it a little bigger for audience to see, and flight characteristics that appear to defy conventional aerodynamics. So where's the location? Off the coast of South Korea. Duration, there's five times sensor records, several minutes each. Number of objects, 3. Number of observers. Wow, there were 3 people who actually saw this when it was going on. So who is the witness? An active DoD contractor interviewed with Americans for Safe Aerospace and described himself, the numerous co-workers observing 5 ISR videos on SpearNet's Unified Video Dissemination System. Yes, UVDS. Now, I've heard of SpearNet, and I've heard of another one, but UVDS is something new that I haven't heard in the past. That collected UAP footage while conducting ISR, event narrative. Video 1. So, here's the thing, Mike. They're not going to give us the videos.
No, of course not.
Safe Aerospace doesn't want any potentially classified information to come into their hands.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It almost seems like they need a lawyer in between them.
No, they're not going to put anything like that out. They won't.
I know. Oh, why? 2 words.
National security.
Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. You got it, Mike.
I know.
Everyone's got their head up the ass of the federal government and the 2 keywords, national security. But just to remind everybody, let's have fun with this one. Yeah, 1947, shortly after Roswell, Mike, guess what? We got national security. With a quick vote of Congress and people telling Congress you need to vote for this, we transformed from the United States of America into the national security state of America. That's right, folks, where ordinary information, no matter how often you think you deserve it, can be classed as national security. And because of that, Mike, the insight of Congress or the American people was taken away in an instant, never to return. And that's how we got to where we're at today. Thank you for that crash in Roswell that turned the United States of America from the United States of America into the national security state of America. I have to play the music for that one.
Oh, no, it's good music. You're right.
That's like you're going to get ready to go on a bad date that you'll never get out of.
Oh, it's even worse than that.
Yeah.
It's making sure that the public never has a right to know of the things that we absolutely pay for with our tax money.
Yeah. So
our tax dollars fund all this.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to know about it.
Oh,
Great.
never. It is out of our purview, Mike.
Yeah. And Congress continues to keep their head in the sand. They're well aware of these issues, and they could take steps to try to eradicate it or find a way in. They have the right as the legislative branch of the government. But have they done that? No. Are they going to do that? No. So we're not going to get to the truth because of that.
And just to point it out, I want to point this out for those who don't know, and I haven't made it clear enough. The only reason I'm here, the only reason I'm in this position or the role that I do here at Disclosure tonight and trying to bring out the truth is for the shit that started from the ages of 5 till I was about 8.5 or about 3.5 years as an experiencer who went to hell and back, and I'm still suffering from the health issues of that, of what I got as a kid. So if you want to go ahead and attack a disabled experiencer, good for you. But I thought they always want to take care of experiencers. Either way, I digress. I'm just throwing it out there because it's, You go through it, Mike, you'll never, ever forget it. It changes who you are from that point forward. So let's get on to this event narrative of someone who got to see a bunch of Tic Tacs. But, yeah, we're going to have to get that video that we've got from Malta and get it to people like Ryan and other people, because it's the only video that's out there, Mike, that actually shows a UAP interacting with a jet fighter. No one else has videos of that, do they? Not one.
They do not. Nope.
So let's move on here. So event one narrative. Video one describes a tic-tac shaped UAP flying approximately 400 knots in a smooth flight plan. Not like the ones we saw. They were going between 11 and 14,000 miles per hour, a lot faster than 400 knots. The object described as tumbling in an unstable manner. Throughout the 3-minute flight duration, with the sensor zoomed in, 3 evenly spaced vortexes of energy or distortion are observed at the top and bottom of the UAP as it travels. This is interesting. We've never seen anything like this before, Mike. The sensor eventually loses track of the UAP. Video 2 and 3 captures a UAP described as a rust brown colored UAP shaped like a peanut shell. I've seen videos of something that looked like a peanut shell before, and trust me, I've got a lot of peanuts here. I feed the squirrels. You know? So, peanut shaped. And I think I've seen that. I don't remember where. No, it's not a peanut shell, Nathan Forrest. Get your mind out of my pants, please. No, peanut. Let's move on. Videos 4 and 5 capture a UAP described as a 2-meter white tic-tac. UAP flying at approximately 200 knots. Several minutes in, the UAP executes a J-hook turn back towards its origin point. 2 seconds later, the UAP rapidly accelerates out of view at extreme velocity. Come on, they have to have some kind of idea of how fast it went. Come on, I was watching stuff going between 11 and 14,000 miles per hour, and they didn't pick up speed. They were always moving that fast. But I did have videos of them standing stationary in winds aloft. So, videos, that is. The witness assesses the U.S. assets were tasked specifically with tracking these objects. Go figure, you mean like the United States government is using their military and their intelligence network to keep an eye on these things? Of course they are. Are they sharing of the information? Remember, we've been told the videos are there in high definition video, Mike. And I think they had said that, what was it? You can see the occupancy of the craft.
Yes.
Don't do that. Leave them alone. Be nice.
Yeah.
Mike, stop hiding him. I unhid him for a reason. Please. There we go. You're clear. Let them say what they want to say. Remember?
Well, no, I don't agree with that.
I know. All right. Gotta have fun. The videos were retained properly. I've got a really thick skin at this point, so let them say what they want to say. That's okay. Cameras are watching. The videos were retained properly on classified systems. ASA coordinated with the witnesses and appropriate authorities to ensure the data was properly retained through proper classified channels. And if you delete a message, Mike, on the channel, that means it is deleted from my record that I have here.
Okay.
Yeah, ASA does not solicit or accept classified information. Yeah, digging deeper. Yes, I guess they want us to be a paid member to get access to AMAs, Ask Me Anything with witnesses, ASA panels, and Mike, I guess we might have to be a member of Ryan Graves' organization. I think I'm good with that.
Yeah, he wants to get paid, obviously.
Yeah, well...
Okay.
Whenever you have a site and you're putting time into it and everything else, there's overhead, right?
There is. Yeah. We know that.
Let's see what does he cost? What does
I don't know.
$8 a month. $3 more than they could charge you on Twitter for someone.
Yeah.
But if you pay yearly, you get 2 months for free, so the cost goes down even more. Not so bad. It's not like it's $19.95 a month.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
And it's a good...
So, yeah, whatever information he has, he usually puts it out anyway. Free.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get back into the studio. And by the way, this is not Windows 95, 98 background. This is like a 4K high resolution shot of Earth. And I have it here because it works better. That I could, Mike, I guess we could be in the studio more often, show off downtown Seattle. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
All right, where else do we have things going on here today? Close that down. So we got the ASA one taken care of. What other kind of shit do I have in my bookmarks? Yeah, folks, Disclosure is really
slow. Yeah.
Slow.
Okay.
It took us almost an hour, Mike, looking at the show. Actually, 2 hours. I was looking for an hour before I called you, or a couple hours before I called you, all day looking for things on to cover on the show, and there is not shit to cover, unfortunately. If we don't want to cover the drama on Twitter, but yeah, there's a lot of drama going on, but we're not covering that here. Not going to give it any oxygen.
There's a lot of drama going on with Portland and things like that.
Oh, what's going on is Tommy 420. That's not me. Is Tommy 420 there? Let's see what is going on. We got Ocean Plot at the... Oh, my God.
Wow, that's loud.
Oh, it's going to be loud. Oh, my God. What do we got? We've got live coverage now. Let's get this up here. Where are we talking about? Vol video solo.
Go fuck your fupa, bro.
Oh, God.
Look at that fupa. Look at that big ass front butt. Look at that front booty.
This is what's going on in Portland with the Antifa protests. We actually have counter protesters going on right now. It's almost when this stuff kind of goes on, I almost need to take and turn on the bluegrass.
You're a pussy.
It almost seems fitting. Oh. This is the kind of stuff we've got going on in the Pacific Northwest. But apparently, Mike, they've actually found out that a lot of the people who are actually part of Antifa are actually part of the homeless industry in Seattle, Washington. So a lot of the people that are out there in protesting against the United States, the government, are actually being funded by the taxpayers of the state of Washington. That came out today.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
So, for people who enjoy drama, we have it going on live over there in real time.
Oh, yeah.
Big lip Mickey.
Oh, here she comes back again.
Big lips on that big fupa. Big lips on a big fupa.
Oh, my God. I have to start that. Oh.
She got a penguin walk.
Okay.
Like a penguin.
Mike, that's what's going on in Portland right now. It doesn't seem much of Antifa protest, more of people just going ahead and fighting against each other.
Yeah.
But it's going on. Oh, my God. Yeah. I know where to find it all. Trust me. So we got Tommy, got Ocean Plot. This is more down at
That's always a good sign.
ICE headquarters. You got all the people up here. We've got these are all the people in Antifa at the bottom here, and you'll see up at the up here you've got a bunch of what do you call it? Federal government representatives from the DHS up, getting ready to go ahead and take the people out with pepper balls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is real life drama.
Yeah. Oh, Sandra, there is an organized Antifa. There's an organized funding organization behind it. There's a national organization that goes along with it. You just have to look at it, understand of the bigger picture of how this stuff works. How do they get trucks pulling up with all this equipment and all the stuff that's funded for it? It's coming from funding sources. So if you can find the funding sources, which they have, they'll track down. It's a different type of organization than what we're used to, just like stuff we saw in the past with, well, what do you call it? What was the organization in the Middle East that was trashing everybody, Mike?
Oh,
yeah, them.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that one.
Exactly. And by the way, Mike, we're not boomers. We're Gen X.
Right.
Okay. But Gene came in. Gene, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, thank you. Doing well. Was out at the symphony tonight for a little while, so got right home, jumped right on.
Nice.
Perfect. Good to see you.
Yeah. So I think, Disclosure's been quiet. I think we've about covered a majority of the stuff that's going on in Disclosure, Mike.
We have. You're right. We had a good conversation and touched base on some really disturbing information about the mummies from 2000.
Oh God,
years
yeah.
ago.
It's gone from beyond mummies to believing whether or not the mummies are real, Mike.
To whatever it was.
To whatever it was, it was a real entity that was brutally frickin' murdered.
Yep. It was.
Yeah.
Very disturbing.
Yeah.
Whatever form of life it is, or could have been, there's no reason for that to happen.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I have an other news for live streamers and different people out there. They have discovered the best kind of a device for going ahead and stabilizing your camera.
Okay.
When you're dealing with it, you know what it is?
No.
The fucking chicken.
What?
Yes, a chicken's head has the ability. It's better than the greatest technology you could ever have for stabilizing a camera.
No, that can't be possible.
Chickens have an ability called head tracking. No matter how much you move their body, their head stays perfectly still, like it's locked in place. Scientists call this vestibulo-ocular reflex, and it helps them stay balanced and focused, even when things get shaky. It's so good, filmmakers have even studied chickens for inspiration in creating advanced camera stabilizers. Did you know a chicken's head works better than a camera stabilizer?
Well, there you go, Mike.
Oh my God. I did not know that.
And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than getting a good camera stabilizer. Granted, you have a camera you can mount on their head, but bam.
Wow.
I think I've got a chicken sound effect around here somewhere. Type in the word chicken.
Yeah, and after you're done with it, you could use it for lunch.
Hello, Susan. How did we get to her? Susan Goff showed back up again.
Like a bad penny. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Is there anything else? Anything else? No, Mike, I think we about covered everything tonight. How about that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It was very interesting information, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah. You've gone from the mummies seeing what they are to seeing that there's a life form there that actually has a uterus and everything there. They can see the contusions, all the things that are going on inside of it, how it was brutally murdered, which you unfortunately have experience that we've talked to about before for being a former NYPD, and it's never an experience you should ever walk away from.
No. And something like that is tragic, no matter what was going on. It's just really disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, as disturbing as the videos I've seen where they're making it look like they've put your face on Lou Buffet.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Got to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. On that note, I think we've about covered. Let me just double check that I cover everything in my bookmarks. I think I did. Yeah.
If we're down to chicken head stabilizers, we're good.
Yeah, we're good, my friend. On that note, we can talk about Avi Loeb tomorrow and and good old 3-Eye Atlas, my friend. On that note, I want to go ahead and let me jump back into the studio to chat. All right, Mike, not that one. Here we go. Let's get back into the studio itself. I want to thank everybody for coming out to this episode of Disclosure tonight. More importantly, I want to thank everybody for the wonderful super chats. Remember, we are a fan-funded program, and I appreciate each and every one of you that has given the super chats. Who am I talking about? Let's go ahead and bring up, and I want to go ahead and thank. First person on super chat, I can't bring it up because I didn't have the chat up there ahead of time. I want to thank Shelly Montgomery, Daryl Zernick, Anonymous Rex, Liz W., thank you very much, Megan Betts, Brian Pemble, and Dragon, thank you very much. We appreciate your love and support for everything we do here at Disclosure tonight. No, we do put a lot into this, so we thank you for everything you throw our way. It's not like we have a mandatory entry price, do we, Mike?
Nope, it's absolutely free.
Right.
So they should like and subscribe.
Please do. If you've watched the show this long, you haven't subscribed yet, please give us a subscription. We'd love to have you here as a regular on Disclosure tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's right, friends. As we usually say on the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody, but
go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you in the flip side. Good night, everybody. See you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.